Once you are done, do let me know. And nobody is judging you over here. I'm not going to give you any certification for it. Just jot down few pointers, few words. Don't use phone for that. Just whatever you have in your mind. Nobody else can explain you well. So you can WhatsApp me, those who are online, seeing the class, have my number, WhatsApp me. Audio message, I won't be able to hear it right now. But yes, your text, I can see. Done? How long we are going to take? I need to discuss RC too. Come. Arey, come. Nobody is judging you. Who wants to come first? Yes, defense colony, come. I don't forget. You'll be the second. I'll be the first. Then, okay. You come. You want to come? Come. Somebody has to start now.
Hello everyone, I'm Himanshu. I'm from Haryana and I stay in Punjabi Bagh. I'm in I passed my 12th from Sarvodaya Vidyalaya. I preparation for my CUT exam. Then thank you very much for driving a car.
Passion. Will be the second one. You said you'll be the second one, right?
Hello, myself Aditya, and hello, myself Aditya, and right now I'm preparing for my CUT examination. My hobbies are to play football and read comics. My strengths are I have a manipulative personality, and I don't know about my weaknesses. Uh, that's it. I want to be a lawyer in future uh, because uh, I want to pursue law and as my graduation and post graduation degree, and then I would like to go abroad for my further future goals.
You have already done a master and in here, and then you'll go abroad. Why don't you do master from outside only? Okay. Why don't you go for judiciary here only in India after doing a yeah? Come. Who said it?
My name is Shivani. I'm from Delhi. And right now I'm pursuing, I'm studying for CUT exam. And okay, ma'am. Um, and I want to go in Miranda House College. That's my the aim, dream college. and then and then I will do my masters in Germany. I have thought, matlab, and then we'll see.
And be a little louder. Did you have German in your German? I could relate.
Hello everyone, my name is Tulip and I stay in Delhi. Thank you. I recently gave my 12th boards and I hopefully passed. I'm preparing for CUET exam and I aspire to be an IFS officer. Uh, hopefully. I haven't figured out my strengths yet, but I know what are my weaknesses. I suffer from anxiety and panic attacks. I usually struggle speaking in front of more than 5 people, unlike today.
Fine, huh? We are fine. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, so I hope you liked it. It is why we are doing it. Any purpose, any reason, or just for the sake of it? No. Before going for any competitive exam for that matter, you should know yourself. That is the reason. And you should be confident enough with everyone. And Miranda House is nothing other than the Tom, Uncle Maggie, and that Hudson Lane. You can go it otherwise. You have good colleges. Go for that. Go for SRCC. So okay, you're humanity. You need to go pol science now, and you have limited colleges. Okay, so we here in this class we are going to be very specific about reading comprehension because a lot of you make maximum number of negative marking in this RC. So what are some do's and don'ts for RC? First do is improve your vocabulary. I have been saying it since we met. Yes, and you are trying to do that. Second is read editorials. Like I suggested, you read the newspaper, right? To have good vocabulary. Editorial in your Hindu, you have this one page of editorials, right? So go about that. If you don't want to read the entire newspaper, that is fine. Read the editorial column, right? And then look for the main idea. While you are reading the passage, you need to look for the main idea of the passage. Once you understood the main idea of the passage, RC would be very easy for you. Like we did in one of the RC. Break up the reading into smaller sections since the passages that you are getting, it's a bit long passages. So somehow the language is bit tricky and bit complex. So what you can do is you can divide the session, right? Divide the one first section, understand, then move to the next one. Or if you have more like that Maharana Pratap passage, it was a long one. So what you can do is to have the clear understanding, you can divide the passage into smaller sections. Come up with question about the text you read. Remember, since you all are from humanity, you will be able to connect. If you read history and if you answer all the WH question, when, where, how, whom, right? You will understand the concept like anything. Similarly, if you read any text, if you read RC, constantly question yourself. What is the purpose behind it? What are its effect? What are the problems it is creating? What are the solutions that are given in the passage? So if you will constantly question it, you'll be able to understand it in a more better way. Understood? You don't need to write it, so you can skip it. Put more emphasis on opening and closing of the passage. 2 or 3, if you are having 5 questions, one question has to be from the opening or the ending of the passage. I'm not saying leave the in between the lines. You need to read the entire passage, but you need to put extra emphasis on the opening and the ending of the passage. That is way more important. Constantly question yourself while reading, that you are already doing. Then some don'ts also. The first one is don't overemphasize, hang on to the main idea, not examples, right? Then don't be over obsessed. And sometimes we try to memorize the text, right? While we are reading, we get obsessed with reading. So don't get. Seeing you all, I don't think you'll be obsessed with reading. So don't be over obsessed. Don't read the passage first, instead, read the question first. Why? So that you should know what you are reading and what you are looking for. Don't overemphasize on vocabulary skill as you're not Shakespeare. So sometimes few words may be given in the passage you aren't able to connect, right? So just leave it. If it is explained in the RC, well and good, but don't feel the pressure, right? I have seen some students taking the pressure, ma'am. What if I'm not able to understand this one particular word? They will leave the passage. Don't do that. Do not go with this, mindset. Rather, see if it is explained well in the passage, enough. While you're practicing, that's a different scenario. But while you are in the exam, don't overthink about the vocabulary skills. Have patience to avoid passage that do not comprehend at first. While you see the paper, you saw that yes, this passage is a bit complex, right? You aren't able to comprehend it. Leave that and do the rest of the question first. Don't just stick to that passage, or don't take it as a challenge. You are challenging no one in the exam. You are your competitor yourself while you're sitting in the exam, right? Second is focus on the ones that you can manage easily. Some questions are very easy, like you have seen in the paper, right? Go for that first, so that once you are able to crack that, you build up more of self confidence, right? So go for the question that you are able to comprehend easily. Don't think the correct option would come from the outside the passage. Obviously, one of the option has to be correct. And don't rely on the trigger word, like this is what I said. Then don't just match the vocabulary here in the question and then in the RC, and then you'll mark the answer. Don't go by that. Let us discuss few questions. This particular comprehension passages are since CUET started last year only, right? So comprehension passages are not there over here. So we'll discuss few of the questions from different competitive exams, right? Right. Which among the following is the most logical, rational, and critical inference that can be made from the above passage? Once a country reaches middle income stage, it runs the risk of falling productivity, which leads to stagnant incomes. Falling into middle income trap is a general characteristic of fast-growing economies. There is no hope at all for emerging Asian economies to sustain the growth momentum. As regard growth of productivity, the performance of Asian economies is not satisfactory. Read the question again and then we'll move to the passage. Done? Should I move? Understood the question? What they're asking, most logical, rational inference and critical inference. That means you need to seek for the information based on the evidence. Now I'll increase the bar or of RC, remember it. So that you can deal with the simplest one too. The IMF has pointed out the fast growing economies of Asia face the risk of falling into middle income trap. It means that average incomes in these countries, which till now have been growing rapidly. Rapidly means fast growing, yes. Will stop growing beyond a point. That means it will stop after a certain point. A point that is well short of incomes in the developed West. The IMF identify a number of causes of middle income trap, none of which is surprising, from infrastructure to weak institution to less macroeconomics condition. Overall cause, says IMF, is growth of productivity. Now the level is coming on your stage. Very easy, just read the passage carefully and use the elimination method. Yes. Once a country reaches middle income stage, it runs the risk of falling productivity, which leads to stagnant incomes. Are you able to connect to this option? There is no hope at all for emerging Asian economies. This option, if you say no hope, that would be too extreme. We need to eliminate that immediately. As regards growth of productivity, the performance of Asian economy, they are not talking about that. It is not satisfactory. So, and if you will collect this, because it runs of falling productivity leads to the stagnant income, so answer is B. You got it right. Easy? Not that easy, obviously, right? But we are going to increase or decrease the level in between so that you are able to deal with every type of question. Got it? Write down 5 words that start from R and ends with S. 5 words that start from R and ends with S. R and S. Let me just give you one of the example. Regards. Think of more words. Rules. Roots. Roots. I gave you another one. Shit. R and S. Recess. Remembering your school days. Okay. Other than that, religions. Now you are yourself putting S into it. Hmm? Rewards. Yes. Yes, but the word should be good enough, no? Hmm. Idioms. Redeems. Redeeming. Em- Regards, relims, recess, religious, idioms. Yeah, you need to start with R, na? Redeem, remains, religious, rules, results, roses. Ah, I love this word. I love the flower too. Roots, recess, remains, rollers, rooms. Now you'll add every S, na? Reflects, regards, redeem. Okay. Coming back to your RC, let us see a bit of long passage too. 2 of the past 3 years have been years of very poor agriculture GDP growth. What is GDP? Economics, gross domestic. with the figure actually positive in 2014-15. So what they're asking about, they're asking about two of the past years have been years of very poor agriculture GDP growth. So they'll be talking about growth. Fourth question says, which of the following statement is true? Private investment seen as the bellwether of an agriculture has not been forthcoming despite this government's business friendly orientation. So yes, more or less they're talking about the same thing, only despite, or they're just changing the statement. Third question, why the growth of demand in India is slow? How much had annual growth of manufacturing exceeded? Which of the following statement is true? During the period for the first time in decades, manufacturing had not led the growth acceleration in the economics. Let me just tell you, this passage is not from any competitive exam. This is from your grade 12th comprehension passages only. So the passages that were given in board exam this year was not that easy, but yes, easy to deal with. Read, should we move to the passage? The passage is bit long. So you need to divide it into the smaller sections. It is coming in the PDF like this, but it's not that long in your paper. So don't get what kind of passages. The moment, should I share it? I can just share you, send me hi on WhatsApp. I'll share the PDF. It has answers too, but please don't see the answers. Ekta, I hope you'll remember it. I remember yours. Aditya, Tulip, Shivani, and Himansh. I remember KV Defense Colony answer over there. Just ping me hi. I will share this PDF with you. Just one sec. Received? This is a passage second that we are discussing from the PPT. I've shared it with two number. One is starting from 96 and one is starting from 98. Everyone received? Yes, I'm sharing. I don't know. Okay, students are online too, huh? Vaishnavi, have you received it? Please give me thumbs up. Okay, you are online. Okay. Passage second, yes. I thought you are asking read the question first or the read the passage first. So that's what I was not sharing it earlier. Na? You have the answers with you now. So you need to be true to yourself. I know reading from PPT is a task. So if you have any group or so, I can just share it before the class. They won't. It carries a lot of pages all the time. I'll ask, how many pages do you get in political science? In RC, I have one PDF of like 25 pages or 26. So then in one class, I'll be discussing one passage only. You come and sit with me for 3 hours, I'll discuss 30 passages. Done? No. Take 5 minutes. It's okay. But don't see the answers, huh? Any word, any sentence, if you aren't able to comprehend it, write it down in your notebook immediately. And those who want to see online, I think I need to get up from here because it's not visible to you. And increase your brightness. You may not have proper app. Do you have this? I think that's why it is not opening. Read it from the board now. I think it's fine. I've come down. Or you can download it. They have given the name Manifest as Modi Fest. If you see the first line and then that was one of the article given in the newspaper. This and they pick up articles from the magazines too. All the questions. It's not like no, you'll leave 2 questions. Do you have negative marking? Correct question is -1. -1 is the negative. But earlier in all the competitive exam, they give negative of 0.75 negative should be there. Anyhow, then so in that case, if you aren't able to comprehend to any passage, leave it. Don't worry, the PPT is same. Or you can just zoom it. Landscape mode कर लो. Are you able to? Landscape. Do the landscape mode. It's easy to read like that. What was the first question? Given in which paragraph? Easy, explicitly given. Explicitly given means exactly mentioned in the passage. Second? How come? Second para? Yeah, you being very smart, huh? Yes. So you are being very smart. So if there is no percentage is given, only 10% is given, so you'll move. Okay. See, earlier if you see the length of the the length of the passage, it seems, such a long passage. But if you read the question, it's very easy. It's just that it takes your 10 minutes of yours or 5 minutes of yours to read the passage. That's it. Why the growth of demand in India is slow? Due to corruption, due to agriculture performance, demonetization, economic cycle, or weather cycle. Explicitly mentioned, easy. Others are able to connect to the comprehension. I guess I have given answers with explanation too. Yes. If you see A, B, E. Which of the following statement is true? The statement is given in the passage. Do it. It's okay. Take 5 minutes of yours. You need to see this true statement. What was the question? Which of the following? Private investment seen as the bellwether of an economy has not been forthcoming despite this government's business friendly orientation. The answer should be D. Read the question, read the options again. And see the last one. Which two of the past 3 years have been years of very poor agriculture GDP growth? How do you know? Just 1 year is. So the answer is, see, things may look very bulky to you in one glimpse, but it is very easy also. Just you need to do is, if you do a lot of practice in this 1.5 months, whatever you are getting, you will get habitual of it while you are doing it in the exam. Don't get bored. Aditya, let's just do one word ladder. Take a word, a 4 or 5 letter word. Take it, write it down. Any word. Try to take it with having maximum number of vowels. Write it down. A word having like two or three vowels into it. A 4 or 5 letter word. No, no, no. Anything. Passage is done. This passage is done. For example, head. HEAD, head. 2 vowels. I'll tell you. I wrote head. Now in this word, I need to change one letter to make it another word. I can just simply remove D and I can write heel. Yes. And now I need to remove another letter to add, to make another word. L is removed. I can just write heat. Now another one. Heap. So you understand this is word ladder. You need to make it on your own. Take any one word and make a ladder of 7. That means this should be 7. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. You need to do it 7 times. Take any word of your choice and make another word out of it. Change the letter of the previous word. Take any word. Try to take vowels into it because it's easy to make words from vowels. Like seek. Check it. Seat. Feel. Seek. What do you mean by this word? Yeah, take it. Close. Close is not going to have a lot of words. Lip. It has. So prepared for use in movement class. That's a new learning for me. See, she made 3. Now you need to remove any other word to make it. No, not. It's not necessary that you change the last word. Sorry, word I'm saying, letter. You can change the letter from in between two. You can change the letter from in between two. Mm-hmm. Heel is there, no? Now change it. You can change H. Sleep should be this. Bread, head. See, you change one of the word, but you need to use the other one of the letter you have changed, but you need to use the other letter of the word, na? No, okay, scale, scalp, okay. You can rearrange the word, rearrange the letters also. If you want to send me online, yes, I am here. You can send it on WhatsApp. I'll read your words. No. Why would you add another one? That's the only task, na? To make you think critically. Okay, you can continue this task once you go home. You understand why we were doing this? So that you come up with a lot of vocabulary. Let's just move to the next RC. Okay, that's a short one. The main subject of the passage is The reasons that fats do not endure, the last lasting appeal of Mothra. Okay, that's a giant caterpillar. The difficulty of marketing good horror movies. Old models for creatures are still used because making new monsters is expensive. Okay. One could be struck in awe. Read it, yes. Struck means we need to look for the main idea of the passage. It is asking about the main subject. The appeal of the lasting appeal of Martha. You think you are giving the title to the passage? Don't think like that. One could be struck in awe if they could relive the Earth's geological past. Huge beasts such as the dinosaur have never really become extinct. Martha, a giant caterpillar who later become a moth, destroys Tokyo and stars in 1962 Japanese film named for him. The famous Japanese cult Martha is born, dies, and reborn regularly on classic movie channels. In Japan, Martha is one of the most popular films ever made. Martha has survived the creation of more certain scary creatures such as giant apes, extraterrestrial beings, and swamp creatures more than 30 years after his creation. Martha still lives. So we are talking about Martha, a giant caterpillar, right? So what should be the main subject? That should be our idea. That means we need to look for the main idea, right? What the author is trying to give it to us. The reason that fats do not endure, not making sense. Should we eliminate the option number A? The lasting appeal of Martha, let us just consider it. The difficulty of making good horror movies. Old models for creature are still used because making new monster is expensive. No, D cannot be the answer. Now, what should be the answer? You have B and C. I eliminated two options for you. Why B? But if you see the first line, or if you say just because they're talking about Mothra, so the Mothra, see, you're going by the trigger words. Yes, what about others' opinion? Why not C? He rightly said that here they're talking about marketing. And in the passage they're not talking about marketing at all. So we'll go with the safest answer B. Easy? A bit of. Let us move to another one. In between, I'm not taking all the long passages because it is very monotonous to read such things. That's why I have taken short passages too. Right? What does the second sentence do? It colludes the meaning of the first sentence. It provides an example of the first sentence. You just leave this one. You won't be able to connect it to yours. Okay, this one is according to your level. This passage states that again you need to look for the main idea of the passage. The planet's atmosphere is being destroyed by runaway greenhouse gases. Temperatures in Greenland have been unusually stable over the past 100 years. There are two information that scientists can use to determine the characteristics of the Earth's early climate. Solar energy is the wave of the future. Use the elimination method for this. Done? So the planet's atmosphere is being destroyed by runaway greenhouse gases. Do you think this should be the right one? Why? Temperature in Greenland have been unusually stable over the past 100 years. So there are two information that the scientists can use to determine characteristics of the Earth's early climate. Solar energy is the wave of the future. No. Planet's atmosphere is being destroyed by the runaway greenhouse gases. No. So if we'll go, the safest answer should be C only. Right? Easy? Should I move to the long passage now? This is long passage? Do you consider it long? Okay. Let us see the short one and then I'll move to the next one. What is the main idea behind the passage? They repeat the same idea, they contradict one another, they compare two forms of written documentation, they present a problem and a solution. I know RC sometimes be a bit of monotonous, so I'll try to, after this, we'll do a little bit of vocabulary thing. And if we'll do the lot of vocabulary in one go, that is also very monotonous. It's not I'm teaching you, scissor play or something that I'll add on drama. For the purpose of insurance related works before video cameras were widely used, home and business owners had to rely only on written report and photos as a way to document their valuables. This form of documentation was difficult for some insurance policy holders. It was incredibly easy to use reports in paper format, or the reports could be easily tampered. Tampered means destroyed. Because of these possibilities, these insurance inventories were taken, often inaccurate, while videotaping is not an option for every home or business owner. This kind of insurance documentation is helpful for some. So they repeat the same idea, they contradict one another, they compare two forms of written documentation, they present a problem and a solution. Why contradict? Read it one more, give it a one shot. Wow. This form of documentation was difficult for some insurance, and earlier they were talking about one of the another documentation, that how can they document their valuables with the help of photographs. Obviously they are not repeating the same idea, so option number 1 is eliminated. If you see the last line, while videotaping is not an option for every home or business owner, this kind of insurance documentation is helpful for some. So is it providing a solution? They are saying it is helpful, but are they giving any solution for it? I am saying that you should study, but I am not giving you any plan of action. There's two different things, na? Aren't they talking about two forms of written documentation? No? What do you mean by written documentation? See, for the purpose of insurance related work, people before video cameras were widely used, home and business owners have to rely only on the, so they say only on the written reports or photograph as a way to document their valuables. This form of documentation was difficult for some insurance policy holders. It was incredibly easy to lose reports in paper format, or the reports could be easily tampered with. Because of these possibilities, these insurance inventories were often inaccurate. While taping is not an option for every home or business owner, this kind of insurance documentation is helpful for some. So, one side they are talking about the positive. One side they are also talking about tampering the things, that this can be tampered. So what are they talking about? This should not be the answer. This should not be the answer. Then we are left with two. Very easy. I gave you the hint also. Why C? Are they talking about two written documentation or something? Is it a comparison? See, this word compare. Is there any comparison between the two? You see, one side they are saying that this is what they do, and then they themselves are saying that it can be tampered, and then they are saying it is not. It may be helpful for some, but that is not an option for every home. So aren't it a contradictory statement? I am saying that you go and study, and while study, watch a movie too. Contradictory statement, na? While studying, you cannot watch the movie. Similarly, here they are talking about the form, and then they are talking that it is helpful, and then they are talking about the that it can easily be tampered with. So isn't it a contradictory statement? So the answer should be B. Understood? Okay. Write down 5 words that start from D and ends with N. D and N. And don't write den now. You thought about it, I know. Write down 5 words that start from D and ends with N. After this, don't worry, we'll discuss only one passage and I'll wind up. So I don't need to see all the yawning in my class. Dam. Is it Bhakra Nangal Dam or something? That's dam. Like dam. Think of good words. One of the word is documentation. No word. Depreciation. Dawn. I think you all need to come up with the better word vocabulary. Okay, all of you promise that now you'll read newspaper? I humiliated you enough for the vocabulary. Let us discuss the last passage and then we'll wind up. Good to go? I know you need to spend your Sunday, you know, you'll somehow get one of the college or another. You need to enjoy your Sunday. Just give me 10 minutes of yours more. And yes, yeah. No, don't worry. I'm not going to discuss. All I have is I can't help it. I need to discuss a bit of long. Which of the following statements is not true according to the passage? Which two guiding ideas have dented the established system of higher education in the country? I'm not reading the option because you won't be able to connect it right now. What was the central theme of the new economic policy according to the passage? Which of the following statement is or are not are true according to the passage? And which of the following offered a safety net for the primary education? Passage number 8. You can check your PPT that you have received. Giving you 5 minutes, read it quick, and then we are going to discuss the question. Take 5 minutes of yours. Yes, all the 5 questions. All the 5 questions are easy. Done? What was the question number 1? This is passage 8 now. Question number 1 was which of the following statement is a safety net for primary education? World Economic Forum, World Bank, or the district primary education? Have you read the passage? It is explicitly mentioned World Bank World Bank offer a safety net for primary education. See the question number second. Which of the following statement is or are true? The purpose of adjustment was to facilitate India's integration into global economy. Is this a right statement? It was designed to cushion the harsh effects that structural adjustment under liberalization was not expected to cause in welfare sectors like children's education and health. Or the national policy on education drafted in 1986 had mostly adhered to the established state-centric view. So first and third statement seems right according to the passage, and second it doesn't seem right, and if second is incorrect, option number D and E is automatically eliminated, right? Yes. See the question number 3. What was the central theme of the new economic policy? New economic policy. Is it SSA, education and health, new economic policy, or right to education, or liberalization? Don't get by the trigger words. It's just because SSA is mentioned in the passage, so SSA should be here. Liberalization is also mentioned in the passage. They are talking about the central theme of new economic policy. So the answer should be E, liberalization, LPG. See question number 4. Which two guiding ideas have dented the established system of higher education in the country? I think answer should be B. Everyone agrees for that? Any contradiction? If we're talking about two guiding ideas, that higher education should respond to the market demand in terms of knowledge and skill, and over the last 3 decades, these two guiding ideas have dented the establishment system. Everyone agrees on that? Or only the last one is left? It's very easy, it's given. It's only third statement is right. That in 1991 came the, okay, we need to see non-true. So answer should be C only 3. 1 and 2 is right. Any contradiction with any of the question, or you have not understood the question or the answer? You have the PDF PPT with you. It has all the answers, not all, but some of it. Got it? Now, first thing you will go home and do what? Newspaper. Every day read only one article, that would be enough. Make it a habit. I'm not saying read the entire newspaper, that would be very monotonous, you'll get bored. Or read magazine article. Read something. Keep everything aside with you, so that whatever you like, you read that. But why editorial? Because it has good vocabulary skills. Right? All the best. Thank you so much.